Someone else has sat where you sit. Across all of human time, in every language, someone has written the words, "I did not think I would survive this," and then kept writing. One of the loneliest feelings in the world is the feeling that no one has ever been exactly here before. Here, in this particular sadness. Here, in this particular confusion. Here, waking in the early hours with this specific heaviness that seems to belong only to you, to your life, your history, your private version of a hard time. And in one sense, that is true. No one has lived your exact life. No one has stood in your exact combination of loss, love, and difficult history. Your experience is yours in a way that cannot be fully transferred or fully understood by another person. But the feeling beneath the experience, that part is not yours alone. That part is very, very old. And it has been survived, in ways both large and small, by more people than you could ever count. The chair you are sitting in. Imagine the place where you are right now as a kind of chair. Not a physical chair, but a position in life, a particular kind of mourning, a particular kind of difficulty. The chair of grieving something, the chair of not knowing what comes next. The chair of having been hurt, of having made a mistake you can't undo, or simply the chair of carrying more than feels fair. Now imagine that chair worn smooth by use. Because it is, people have been sitting in that chair, your chair, the one you are in right now, for as long as people have existed. A woman in another century sat in that chair, stared out the window, and wondered whether she would feel this way forever. A man on a different continent sat there last week. A teenager you will never meet sat there this morning in a city you have never visited, feeling something so close to what you feel that if you could compare notes, you would both be startled. You are not sitting alone in that chair. You never were. What history quietly holds. There is a kind of comfort in looking back through time, not with nostalgia, but with honesty. The people who came before us, the ones we know by name and the vast, silent majority we don't, were not made of stronger stuff than we are. They did not have access to the certainty or ease we have somehow lost. They were human, fully and messily human, and they felt what humans feel. The weight of loss, the disorientation of change, the fear of an uncertain future, the ache of being loved imperfectly or not enough. And they got through it. Not all of them easily, not all of them are without scars, but they moved through the hard mornings, one at a time, and most of them eventually found that the weight shifted, that something changed, that there was a morning somewhere ahead that felt different from this one. That thread connects you to them not as a debt you owe or a standard you must meet, but as a simple inheritance. You come from people who survived their hard mornings. That is in you. It has always been in you. The letter that was never sent. Sometimes I think about all the words that were never written. Centuries ago, someone sat in a small room and composed, in their head, a letter they never sent, describing exactly this feeling, the feeling you have right now. They found words for it in their own language, and those words were true. And then the moment passed, the words were never recorded, and that person went on with their day. But the feeling they described, it survived. It passed quietly from one generation of human experience to the next, unwritten yet unbroken. What you are feeling this morning has been felt before. It has been named in private in hundreds of languages. It has been wept over in rooms we will never see. It has been carried by people who, from the outside, looked perfectly composed. And all of them, every one of them, woke up the next morning and the morning after that. The gift of not being first. There is an unexpected sense of freedom in realizing you are not the first to feel this way. When we believe our pain is unique, we carry it in complete isolation. We have no map, no precedent, no evidence that anyone has passed through this territory and emerged on the other side. It is just us, alone, in something unprecedented. But when we understand that others have sat where we sit, not exactly, but essentially the isolation cracks open just a little. Not enough to fix anything, but enough to breathe. Enough to think, if they move through it, perhaps I can too. Not because I am as strong as they were, but because they were no stronger than I am. They were just people, doing what people do, continuing, imperfectly, because that is what continuing looks like. You are not alone in this. You have never been alone. The long history of human beings finding their way through hard mornings is, quietly and without fanfare, on your side. This morning, wherever you are, someone else is also just beginning their day with a heavy heart. They are in a different city, a different life, perhaps even a different century, in the story that is still being written. They don't know you exist. You don't know they exist. But you are sitting in the same chair, feeling something that, at its core, echoes what the other is feeling. And you are both, in your own quiet way, doing the same thing. Getting through the morning, which it turns out is all anyone has ever done.